Help me out, Laura, would you?
What can I do for you, Bergrand?
Mourn my poor departed luck. I finally met some Banuk keen to trade with Outlanders. Then, they up and vanished. 3 Banuk hunters rolled in a few days ago. No provisions, junk equipment, no idea how to strip a machine for parts. Asked me to outfit them for a long trip. And you know me, Aloy. I'm sentimental. So I did it on credit.
And they haven't paid.
Well, they tried. Just look what they did to this Thunderjaw heart. But that was ages ago. And I'm starting to worry about them.
Tell me, Bergrand, are you worried about their well-being or your purse strings?
A man can worry about 2 things.
Uh-huh. What kind of deal was this, really?
Just what I said. I was nothing but generous, Aloy. After they dropped this ruined heart at my feet, I even gave them another chance. Sent them to fetch a few other parts I need.
But you haven't seen them since.
Hide nor hair.
What do you mean they couldn't harvest parts?
Not uncommon with Banuk. That's shaman's work, you see. The hunters take down the machines. The shamans slice them up. No shaman with these 3. Just 2 youngsters sniping at each other. And that big fella standing there smiling.
So if the Banuk don't usually hunt without a shaman, what's the story with these 3?
They weren't telling. But hammer to steel is not a happy story, whatever it is.
You said they asked you to outfit them for a trip. A trip to where?
Not sure. But I heard them chattering about the Sundom when they thought I wasn't listening.
So they're leaving Banuk territory.
Sensible behavior. Still, I get the sense this wasn't a sightseeing trip. They're running from something.
I'm not a debt collector, Bergrand. If I look for them, it'll be to make sure they're all right.
Of course, of course. Fires of the Forge, forgive me. I actually like these idiots. The molten steel of youth and all that. But, if you do manage to find them, you could remind them of the deal we made. A Scorcher Claw, a loop of sinew from a stalker, and a Snapmaw Fang. If they bring me those parts, their debt's paid. And then some. Just make sure they don't bust them up too badly.
I'll consider it.
Last I saw them, they were heading northeast. Good machine hunting up that way. If you decide they're worth the trouble, you might look for them there.
From Thunderstrom. Sometimes I see shapes in the cloud. So the tall neck walks again.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small.
Bandits cower at Stone Yield because they
led
are
us
too
through the
afraid to
frozen
face the
wastes.
Banuk directly.
We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and her Werak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked for many days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Banukai discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. You bid me come, she said. My people need aid. Will you provide it? The machines whispered to Banukai. We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long.
It would be
Carry it
miles
to your
under a
people if you
thousand.
must, but the cost will be great. The light.
Our struggles don't concern you, Outlander.
Never say no to a challenge. Better to die with your bowstring drawn. Shall we all die beneath its nose?
What does the Outlander want?
I'm looking for Skuli.
You found her. Come, come. Let's get it over with.
Quite a view you've got up here.
It's a useful perspective. How fleeting we are when the world is so wide. From up here, you can see how the light paints across the land. Ever changing. That's a lesson. All our marks will pass.
That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter.
Haven't met many artists, have you? Song's Edge needs new stories. I scrubbed its past off this rock to start anew. But a new start needs new colors. Fresh pigments. Like none have seen.
Araya said you could help me get the Werak's attention.
Araya works in strange ways. But I've drunk paint to survive in a blizzard, so I'm one to talk. I'll get you noticed, if you bring me the pigments I need to complete my work.
Araya said you two were friends.
I paint about what I feel now, not the way things used to be. Araya understood. Most Banuk didn't. I would have been exiled if she hadn't had Aratak take me into their Werak.
Have you always been a painter?
I've always painted. But I wasn't a painter until I was driven out of Banur. Up there, the markings are eternal. They paint over the same lines, the same colors, over and over. As a child, I learned from copying them. As I grew, my heart sank at the familiarity. All of us Banuk might as well be trapped in glacier ice. We have the look of life, but never really moving.
These pigments you want. Where should I look for them?
Salts gather at the edges of geysers and hot pools. Crystals cling to the rocks and cliffs.
The Banuk rock paintings are impressive, but,
You want to know what they mean. That's not the right question, but I'll answer anyway. Some are called to the machines. The sacred shapes you see on metal casings, or on a cauldron door.
do the machines listen to the call?
I don't know. Others, like mine, are a call to the tribe. You could say inspiration or prophecy. And sometimes even men listen, if the painting is loud enough.
I'll see what I can find for you.
Seek out the vibrant ones. A spring of sudden color among snow or rock or metal. That's its own reward. But I'd reward you as well.
What business do you have here, girl?
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small.
The magnificent American black bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Beautiful. How fierce you must have been.
I hate to interrupt.
Yes. Hello, an outlander at the Shrine of Forgotten Beasts. Welcome. I'm Enjuk.
Aloy. The Shrine of what?
When the old world still breathed, a great man built a tiny totem to this beast and stored the visage inside. When the totem is placed on the pedestal, the animal is painted onto the empty air, and the beast lives again. Well, almost.
There are 7 pedestals. Where are the other 6 figurines?
I found this one in the wilds. Remembered the indentations in the pedestals here, and saw how they matched the base of the totem. But as you say, it's one of 7, isn't it? The great Montana Recreations must have made more, but time has scattered them.
So these totems, the images they show are of animals that no longer exist. They're gone, like the old ones.
So it seems. To think such magnificent creatures are lost to us, that we never even knew they were here. We rely as much on beasts as we do on machines. For food, for warmth, but do we study them with the same fervor? Yeah, I do. For example, I have this theory about foxes. Why do foxes have red fur? think about what they eat.
Meat?
Raw meat. Bloody meat. See? Natural causation. Logical connections. It only makes sense.
You've thought a lot more about foxes than I have. Got another one for your collection, Enjuk.
Oh, which beast are you, little friend? What secrets will you tell us? Well, I've placed it on the pedestal. We'll see.
You said a great man made these figurines?
Indeed. He was, I believe, a student of the natural world. Like me, but surpassing my abilities 1,000 times over. The great Montana recreations. Perhaps the finest natural scholar the old world ever produced. His voice claims responsibility for the totems, the vessels for the knowledge he accumulated. I share his desire to understand the beasts, to catalog their behaviors and preserve their images. I like to flatter myself that I'm an apprentice of sorts, carrying on his work. Someday, perhaps, if I am persistent, I can earn his name. Enjuk Recreations.
I should get going.
Of course, of course. I've taken up so much of your time already. But I don't suppose you could keep an eye out for more figurines?
If I run across any, I'll bring them your way.
Ursus Arctos, the menacing grizzly bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Those claws look like they could rip someone in half.
Perhaps in its youth, but you heard Montana Recreations. He said it's grizzled, old. Its hunting days are behind it.
Everything's freezing.
Visitor centers
Ground,
bust.
the air.
I'm recording this right
Me. never know when I might need these. They didn't spot me. Their devices scanned me. Bandits aren't subtle. Clearing them out would send a different kind of message. Off you go.
Where's the boss?
Up in his tent, where he always is. I think that helmet's squeezing your brains.
I hate these things. Takes forever to get it off.
Try lugging one of these scanners around. Can't even sleep on the job with it sparking all the time. Decide what to do with him or knife him and be done.
You can see them.
Is that a blasted
They can't
corpse?
see you.
Man down!
Wish our grub didn't look the same going in and coming out.
Shot knocked it off. I see the alarm. Hope I don't hear it too.
Big trouble!
back. Could still be out there.
Hey, look up!
One of these days, I'm gonna take down a tramp and sell off all the goodies.
Something over here? No!
I'm not here.
Uh-oh, could be a stiff. Firing off a scan.